And to a sense, there is a right or wrong way. If you look at a diet, I think a diet is just simply a means to get you from your inner perception to your outer perception. So, for example, if your inner perception is you 20 pounds thinner and lighter and wearing a few sizes smaller, a diet is simply a means to get what you are now to that inner vision. A lifestyle change is where you're living that vision almost now, and eventually your outer self is going to catch up with your inner self. So, for example, you go on, I don't know, let me pick something like the Sonoma diet, okay, which was very Mediterranean based, and it was, very healthy food and certain proportions and no sugars and that kind of thing. Alright, as a diet, you think, okay, I'm going to follow this plan exactly, not change anything until I get to what I want. And then I'm going to just, then I get to go back to what makes me happy. A lifestyle change would be, this lifestyle really fits with who I want to be. I want to be that slender person that goes to restaurants and eats a certain thing and looks a certain way and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to start this, I'm going to incorporate this now and start living this now in such a way that I will make these changes permanently. That's a diet versus a lifestyle change. And I think it's hard because for both, we see the word diet attached. Like Atkins diet, South Beach diet, the Maker's diet, the Macrobiotics diet, the raw food diet, the fruits only diet, the bikini beachwear body diet, the booty diet, all these diet books. And so many of them are very sound advice for certain people. I'm not putting down any of them because a lot of them have a lot of good things about them. Okay? They do succeed for some people. Not for everybody because we're all different. But they do provide success. Why? Because I think the ones who are successful for long-term success are the ones that incorporate it as part of a lifestyle, not as just a means to an end. And we know that. I mean, truly, we all know that. If you eat nothing but salad for a month, of course you're going to lose weight. But as soon as you start going back to McDonald's, it's going to come back. We know that. Whereas if you incorporate salads into your diet every day with eating other things, and you'll lose the weight more slowly because you're not going full-on, full blast. But you're making lifestyle change. You're saying, well, I'm just always going to be eating this way, or at least for a long time until I change into something else. More as a metamorphosis. And I think people get angry because we don't see necessarily, two things. One, we see somebody just doing a diet and not a lifestyle change, and it's not that we're angry at them, it's more like we've all been there and we want to tell them, don't go that way because you'll just disappoint yourself. Although we have to remember that's a journey everybody needs to take. I think some people in their willingness to help give sometimes too much advice, and you have to be ready to hear it. Again, back to where I said change is from within. And if you're not ready to accept that, you're just going to reject it anyway. Or they don't see that lifestyle change as something they can make, so they think it's wrong. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. I could not do Atkins. Certainly not on a forever basis. I don't eat that much meat. I mean, I like meat. I'm not a vegetarian. But I really don't eat a whole lot. I can maybe eat it twice a week and be perfectly fine with that, or 3 times a week. And I love cheese, but I love very small amounts, and I love very expensive cheese that doesn't come from the United States. So that would not not be feasible for me, and various things like that. I do love vegetables, but I also love fruits quite a bit, and I would have a very hard time of giving those up for a while, even for a while, because I eat them, I love them so much. So for me, that wouldn't be a good lifestyle change because it's not something I could make into a lifestyle for me. However, for others, that may be perfect. That may just fit what they're supposed, what their body is telling them that they should do, and they feel really good while doing it. Same with other things, okay? So I think, and this has gone so off topic, and I apologize, but I think 3 things are kind of just all tied in together. One is, don't be upset when that outer image or your outer self is not matching your inner self. That happens all the time. And if it does upset you, live how you want to be then, now. So instead of saying, well, when I get to that weight, I'm going to be happy. No. Be happy now. Be as if you were that person now, and things will follow. It's kind of, take care of the small things, the big things take care of themselves. Maybe I got that backwards. I don't know. Anyway, I'm tired. And then with that, don't do a diet, do a lifestyle change, and pick whatever one that works for you. Forget about how other people go, and make noises and whatever. You're going to interpret things the way that best works for you. If it's a healthy change, we should all be celebrating it, regardless if it's, I'm eating McDonald's 3 times less a week than I used to, or I'm only picking healthier choices at fast food restaurants, all the way to I'm only eating vegetables by themselves, proteins by themselves, fruits by whatever. No more flour, no more refined sugar, whatever. Okay, there's a whole spectrum of health. And as long as you're living the way you see yourself living happily for a long time, go for it. And let's all support one another in that and cut the negativity, because we all get negativity at home. That's why we're probably escaping to YouTube for motivation and support, not for people who say, ooh, you're doing it wrong. Where did that come from? Anyway, this is just a ramble. Maybe one sentence out of all of that will help somebody, and I hope so. And anyway, lost some. Happy about that. I'm happy about the own changes in my body. I really do feel like I'm making a lifestyle change. I feel like I'm moving away from being dissatisfied about something not matching what I feel like it should be, and realizing that it will, and I'm living that now. And I hope you do the same. Talk to you later.